So, do you have a marker or something you can throw out? Not really? That's okay. So, what you're looking at here is you're looking at the tibia. This is the lateral aspect of the knee. This is the medial aspect of the knee. Here's your quadriceps. The quadriceps comes to a quadriceps tendon. The tendon then passes through the patella, the kneecap. The patella then has a patellar tendon, which then inserts on the tibial tubercle. All right. We're going to do what's called a medial parapatellar arthrotomy, meaning we're going to go on the inside part. We're going to cut the skin. We're going to dissect down some of the subcutaneous tissue. We're going to find some fat at the top here, right, and a little retinacular tissue. We'll get rid of that. Around the actual knee itself, there's going to be very little fat, and we're going to come down on the knee capsule pretty quickly. And then down here, we'll start to see the patellar tendon. We'll then make an incision in the knee capsule right around the kneecap. That's the parapatellar part of it, and we're doing what's called an arthrotomy, which means we're making an incision into the joint itself. Okay? Once we make the arthrotomy, you're going to be able to see the ACL. All right? It's going to be a little bit distorted given this hyperflexed state right now, but that's where we're going to get it. I understand that you guys need a very small amount. What does your device look like?
Yeah. Well, it's like a platform, and it's about like that far around, and it shines down into
It shines down into
it.
it.
There's like.
Okay, so that's fine. What we're going to need to do actually is it's going to be easier to do a wide dissection and get rid of a lot of this stuff. I anticipate you guys should be able to do this with relative ease once you get reasonably good at it. Okay, you can watch the video again. There's lots of stuff that you can watch on the internet. Okay, so we'll make a wide incision here. Okay. Right, we see here is the subcutaneous tissue. Here we're going through. There's no reason to be bashful here. All right, bud, you're doing well. Okay, there's the subcutaneous tissue that we're going through, the retinacula, or the superficial fascia and retinaculum that we're going through. Up north, I can't see too much, but it looks like we're getting there. So what I need now is I need someone to get me a large number or a lot of either paper towels or something, because this is going to get juicy in a minute. And I won't do anything until you guys come back. Notice everyone leaves. Did you all right?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Joey.
Joey. Okay. So why did I ask you guys to get a large number of paper towels? Because there's going to be fluid in the knee. Right? I don't know how much fluid there's going to be in this knee. Probably not a ton, given her fact that the leg has been frozen. Right? And I anticipate that much of the synovial fluid will be frozen. But this tissue feels actually pretty reasonable. So at this point, I'm just feeling the patella. So here you can see there's the patellar tendon right there. You guys can come around and stand behind my back. I don't mind if you crowd in, as long as you're not sick. All right. Here's the tibial tubercle. There's the patellar tendon. All right. Here you can see the starting aspects of the patella. All right. I'm just having, sorry, I got no pickups here, so I'm trying to do this, but you can see that's the patellar tendon. This is the patella, right? See, I'm just on bone there. Okay, and then up north here, you can see right here is muscle. That's the vastus medialis obliquus, right, or the VMO. That's the medial aspects of the quadriceps, and there you can see the the quadriceps tendon. Okay, so so we don't care about anything but the ACL, right? And you guys all have probably looked at a textbook at this point. Or at least I hope you have, as to what an ACL looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically putting my knife into the quadriceps tendon. So I've identified out the quadriceps tendon at least as best as I can. Let's do this for a second. Relax here for a sec. Can't normally do this in real life, so that's awesome. Right. So what we'll do is we'll just come down, and there you can see the muscle, right, and it's investing fascia, right, that I'm not necessarily going to go through. Right, here we go. That looks great. Okay. Do we have that paper towel? Pass me a paper towel, please. Thank you. So surgery is a lot of blunt stuff as well. Right? People would be surprised how much blunt we have going on. Right, and there it is. Right, there's the quadriceps tendon. Okay, right about there. Okay, and there it comes to the patella. So what we'll do is we'll do a medial parapatellar arthrotomy. Let's turn the leg around again. Okay, to remind us where we are and orient ourselves. Yeah, that's good. We're starting to thaw out a little bit. Okay, we just put our knife literally sort of 90 degrees there. All I'm doing is hard to the bone. All right, just go boop, right, I've hit bone. Okay, and then all I do is, this is a more of a sawing motion, and it's just like this in a real person too. You do make a sawing motion, right, because this is a thick, thick, thick tendon. Okay, this is a little bit more difficult because we're doing this in a cadaver, but you get the general idea. Here we come around the patella. Right, and at this point I'm going to be a little bit ginger because I don't want to get in the ACL. And there we are now on the tibia. Okay, so this is going to be the hard part for us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a little blunt dissection to help me identify any spots that I missed in the arthrotomy, which, you know, there's going to be some. So any of you who have aunts or uncles or grandparents or things like that who've had a knee replacement, this is essentially what we do. So right now all I'm doing is just getting any of the deeper tissue that I missed with my initial cut there. That's all. Okay, once I've identified that I'm in the right plane, I can move with speed and alacrity, right, and get over there. Okay, so there you go. So right now what we see is we see the medial femoral condyle, right? You can see the patella. Here's the patellar tendon. We see the fat pad of Hoffa there. I can put my knife in a little bit deeper here. I want to be careful at this point because the ACL is kind of there, right? Get rid of some of this junk, right, and come further south. And the reason I'm doing that is just to help you guys out being able to see. Okay, this is where I said that patellar tendon attaches, so we're going to stop being able to get underneath there. And this is the fat pad. Did we ever get those pickups? No, that's okay. What I'm doing now is I'm putting my finger under. That's good. Perfect. Coker. Terrific. You're going to want to wash these, bud. Okay, so what I grab now is I'm grabbing the fat pad. And I'm just going to cut some of that out, and that's just going to improve our visualization a little bit, okay? That's all. And we're kind of hampered here because we have the knee in hyperflexion and frozen. Okay, so our goal, all right, there we go. We're almost there. We're seconds away. You guys excited? I hope so. Oh, she had bad arthritis. And so this is cartilage right here. That's cartilage right here. And you can see beautifully that this area right here, hear that? Versus that. Hear that? Versus that. That's exposed bone. That is the definition of arthritis. So people say, oh, I have arthritis. You're like, what the hell is that? That's when the cartilage off the edge of a bone has been completely worn away down to its bone. Okay, and this is slightly unusual that she had arthritis out here on the lateral aspect of the knee. The vast majority of arthritis is on the inside part of the knee. The other thing that's interesting is that this is a little bit off the weight-bearing surface of the knee. So interesting. This right here, this little flop right there, that's called the ligamentum mucosum. We'll get rid of him. He's not important. Good. Okay. And we'll invert the patella. Hold strong there, bud. Sorry if I got any goop on you. We'll wash that off. All right. Now we're really starting to get somewhere. All right. And I don't have to worry about any of this for you guys. But this is essentially the exact same view if you do a total knee replacement on somebody. Okay. So there you go. And that big thing staring us in the face, that's the anterior cruciate ligament. There it is. Okay. Right here. Its anterior attachment on the tibia is predictably at the insertion of the anterior horn of the lateral meniscus. So if she has any meniscus left, which she may or may not, I don't see a whole lot of meniscus there, but there it is. Okay, and then it inserts on the femur on the lateral femoral condyle, right there in the notch. Okay, and there you go.
Very cool.
And so this gives you a wide exposure and an easily done exposure. I think you guys could easily do this. We saw what I did. It wasn't a whole lot of effort and stuff like that. And that gets you right there. Things that you're going to want to be careful about, and you guys will read about in your anatomy, is that there are two bundles of the ACL, or at least there are some people who believe there are two bundles of the ACL, the anteromedial and the posterolateral bundles of the ACL, and you can maybe get a suggestion of those, but I'm not going to muck around since you guys are going to want to play with this. Okay, relax there for a second for me, bud. Yeah, she's not going to move too much for you, so I recommend that what we do is we flip the patella over. This is maybe harder than we expect without rupturing anything. There we go. Okay, so what you can do is just slide it and then pop it over. Okay, I'm serious. That's what you do in live people too, right? You just pop the patella over to expose it, because how else do you replace that? She had a terrible amount of patellofemoral arthritis. You can see that. This lady would have done well with knee replacement or patellofemoral arthroplasty. Very rare to have someone who does that, but this is good. So she's got an ACL there. Things that you want to worry about: this ligament back here, excuse me, this guy right here, that's your posterior cruciate ligament. Okay, and there may be other smaller meniscofemoral ligaments in the back, the ligament of Humphrey and the ligament of Risberg. Okay, those may interfere with your tests, but that's the guy right there, and that's it. I would leave her out to thaw for a good little while. Okay, probably till tomorrow, and then you should be good to go. You should be able to do whatever you need to do. You could probably pot the leg now, because this feels reasonably solid, but you may want to, I imagine you want the leg flat. The one beautiful thing about having this exposed like this and hyperflexed is that you can see the ACL perfectly. All right, but you'll notice the majority of people don't have or aren't at 145 degrees or 140 degrees of knee flexion the way that this knee is right now. So while this offers you perfect visualization of the ACL, you can imagine as this part comes up on it, your ability to see the ACL is going to go down. So however you want to do it, whether this is the way you want to test it or there's another way that you want to test it, is fine. But I would recommend that you do a reasonably large exposure because it's not harming you. Okay? Does that work?
Yeah.
Is that good? Is that helpful?
Yep.
Awesome. Oh, my pleasure, guys.